Let's do a simple visualized version of letting go of tension and stresses. Feel your body and aura and let tensions, stresses, delusions, pains, confusions evaporate in the form of dark or black smoke. Sort of like the body mind is full of little chimneys and there is black, dark gray smoke pouring out from all those chimneys. Imagine that. If it helps, you can, take a particular area of the body, let's say the head, and imagine that in the place of the head, this black smoke starts evaporating, just like it comes out of chimneys of houses and buildings, letting all the dirt, bad energy, stale energy evaporate and disappear. You don't have to worry where it goes. It's just like smoke from chimneys disappears into the sky. The whole body gradually, using that visualized image, head, torso, heart, gut, limbs, parts of limbs, whole being. If it comes spontaneously as thick, dark smoke, perfect. If it comes as thin, dark smoke, perfect. Just do it. Just let it happen in the way that it spontaneously happens, naturally happens. You can imagine this dark smoke evaporating, leaving physical organs as well. You might feel it leaving from the nervous system, the circulation, maybe bones, maybe muscles. And it will make you feel lighter, fresher. And you probably can feel it already after a moment of doing this. Soft tissues, smoke leaving, hard tissues, bones, bone marrow, smoke evaporating. Black smoke evaporating from the spine, spinal canal. You get the gist of it from this instruction. shedding tensions and delusions for the sake of all sentient beings. Shedding toxins from the system, physical and non-physical. If you have some part of the body where there is or has been illness, you can give some focus on that area. Imagining, visualizing black smoke pouring out for the sake of all beings. We are all connected to everybody else. In this world, in non-physical realms, we are all connected. So when we shed our karmas, shed our tensions, shed our black smoke, and are therefore able to live longer and more healthy while practicing the Dharma, it is directly beneficial to beings and people in this realm, on earth, because we are connected. So you simply are aware of the body, space, mind space, letting the black dark smoke evaporate as long as there is something to evaporate. Fears, pains, traumas can also evaporate in the form of dark smoke. Bad memories, memories of bad experiences and situations. Leaving in the form of dark smoke. For the sake of all sentient beings. disease leaving the system, leaving only ease and vibrancy, a vibrant positive field of energy without disease, without disharmony. For the sake of all sentient beings. At some point you will feel a click where this visualization, this exercise kind of feels that it comes to a natural endpoint, or the visualization just naturally drops off. So also be aware of this. Throughout this being aware of black smoke leaving our bodies and minds, we are perfectly aware of it, naturally, effortlessly aware of it. Knowing it, knowing that black smoke leaves our system, that dirt, toxins leaves our system. And when that imagination or visualization, when that letting the black smoke leave the system, when it comes to a end, then only the basic knowing together with newly refreshed body mind that is grounded is left. So from there, simply recognizing our basic natural condition as wakeful, fresh, clear-minded beings. Let's stay with this experience, lying down. Do you feel fresh? Tell me, show me. Do you feel fresh after that release? Okay. Liz, what the heck is this supposed to mean? You're smiling at the same time. I'm just kidding, I'm just kidding. Okay, let's continue sitting, not meditating, after we release this black smoke. Sitting in fresh clarity that has joy in it, joy and love. Being joyful means smiling. So it's a good sign if you find yourself gently smiling, just like Buddha statues. And as smiling, it's a spiritual practice, meditation practice of its own. And as you know, smiling and happiness is a comprehensive feeling. It's actually I intend to include it in my Rainbow Body book, that it's a smiling generates the enjoyment body, Sambhogakaya. So it can be viewed and can be practiced as a rainbow body preliminary. Smile, authentic smile that permeates the whole being. Subtle joyfulness, subtle bliss, loaded with subtle happiness. It's not a high, like we were discussing highs and lows. Not like that. Highs are gross. Whether getting high on bliss or getting high on dope, it's gross. This is subtle. Happiness that is unconditional. The word unconditional was mentioned by somebody earlier this weekend. We are simply speaking a way to understand our true being, a way to understand our own wakeful nature. So it's not a blank wakeful in that sense that it's emotionless, feelingless, toneless, colorless, transparent. That's half of the story. The other half is this joyfulness, bliss, light, full of color, expression, the whole artistic side of it, the whole expressive side of it, of ours. of ours, each one of us. So we can look at it from two different, this smiling or joyfulness from two different points of view. From the perspective of generation and from the perspective of already complete. Complete means that, when we recognize the basic state and the three qualities are there, then also the joyfulness is there. So it's already there, already complete, and then you just integrate your whole being with it. This joyfulness doesn't need to be generated, it's already there. And the perspective of generating it means that, you try to recognize it and recognize it, stay with it. You might leave it, then you go back to it, recognize it. It's like going back and forth, establishing it, establishing recognition. And sooner or later, and specifically when the Mahasiddha Bhumi is open, when you've had the 11th major breakthrough, then you don't need to search for it anymore. You don't need to generate, you don't need to adjust. It's there readily available. And that's fantastic. Depending on one's pace of practice and also depending greatly on development of bodhicitta, getting all bhumis open, it takes from 2 months to 2 years on average. Internal, permeating sense of fresh clarity and fresh joyfulness. For the sake of all sentient beings, moment-to-moment recognition so that each one of us attains Buddhahood as soon as possible for the sake of all sentient beings. Learn to remind yourself about this in your daily practice, in your daily moment-to-moment life. Become one with bodhicitta, with bodhisattva vows. Because that's what the mind of the Buddha expresses spontaneously, naturally. These are not some external band-aids stick on one's mind or carried in our mind like external objects. That's what the Buddha mind, what the realized, fully enlightened Buddha expresses. Wishes freedom to all sentient beings who suffer because of their delusion. Existential freedom. So what happens here? If we look at this a little bit technically to understand and to explain what is going on, is that we have those two Buddha bodies, BODIES bodies, Dharmakaya and Sambhogakaya, body of emptiness, body of light, body of colors. So from one perspective, we are practicing Ati Yoga now, Chokchen. So as I often say that, we can check when we are practicing, we can check by generating bodhicitta, we can check if our recognition is correct and how much it is enhanced by generating bodhicitta. So, when we express our wish to attain enlightenment for the all sentient beings, if our mode of being is then the clarity comes, that probably happens because we haven't yet opened Mahasiddha Bhumis. We haven't yet established the baseline of sustaining effortless recognition. I hope this doesn't sound too complex. And then on the other hand, if the baseline stays and there is merely an enhancement in the experience, let's say there is richness that comes, more freshness, more subtle clarity, then it shows that, it shows where our karmic body still is, and it momentarily, well, how do you say, gives in? Is that how you say it? Gives in, and this expanded clarity is felt and is recognized. I hope this is understandable. But then, emptiness is not everything. There is also this body of light and bliss, body of enjoyment, body of pure joy. So in the body of emptiness, it's kind of like I often explain, it's sort of like that flawless diamond, flawless jewel. But no jewel is in a vacuum without the influence of other things. Nothing is in vacuum without the influence of other things. Not even a cave yogi hiding in Himalayan caves somewhere. So there is energy, there is light. That's the enjoyment body. Energy, light, bliss, joy. There's feeling, there's tone, there's color, there's texture. No, texture is not right. There is some energy in it, some expression to this empty awareness. If it was only empty, it would just be plain, transparent, empty thing. But just like the world around us, colors, shapes, we have the second body also. All beings are empty, and all beings are originally in this state of joyfulness and happiness. Sukha, S-U-K-H-A, Sukha in Sanskrit. Not only Sudha, pure, Kadak in Tibetan, pure, but also happy and joyful. Two different stages and types of Buddhahood, full enlightenment. It is really simple, actually. It is so simple that when you spend 20 years trying to figure this out, you feel like a fool, like I often do. And I'm sure everyone does. Having spent so much time and effort in trying to figure it out. So we usually first and foremost, because that realization of emptiness, body of emptiness, is essential, because it removes ignorance, it removes the sense of self, it removes the mental solidification of mental phenomena. That's why it's so essential. And that's why that's the bodhisattva, bodhicitta motivation. But we can also wish happiness from the perspective of this other body. We can wish happiness and that enjoyment for all beings, that all beings as potential already have with them. So let's do that. Let's wish happiness, joyfulness, enjoyment to all beings. May all beings be happy. May all beings be truly happy. May all beings be happy. Another type of rainbow body preliminary, Tögal Nandro in Tibetan. May all beings in all realms be perfectly happy and satisfied, content and joyful. May they dance and sing in joy because of their happiness. A very different spin than just emptiness alone. I would say that there's much more meaning in this than emptiness alone. Because it's not just transparent. In the various things in our lives, in taste of good food, in taste of good drink, same happiness. No self. Empty of self, but same pleasure. In making love, same pleasure. In enjoying art, enjoying music, same thing. All these things, really basic normal things in our daily life, are expressions of this enjoyment body. Can and should be seen as also. This is what Tantra means. Everything included. Take a few deep breaths. And move the body, stretch, open. All right. How do you feel? Oogie has two. Double trouble. Okay. I think that yesterday we discussed of Pat asked me for a wrathful empowerment, but I think that we won't have wrathful empowerment this weekend, but I will give you a peaceful one after the break. So I think I will give White Tara and Avalokiteshvara to nicely fit the theme. Yes, so let's have a break for 65 minutes and continue at 7 p.m. EET. Okay? See you in 65.